Beyonce and Jay-Z has a $28 million car, allegedly. I don't know. Ty just told me. He was like, hey, Beyonce and Jay-Z have a $28 million car. And I say to that, $28 million car, the game has changed. Everything has changed. Your whole world has changed. There's some places this car cannot go. There's some things that you should, in a $28 million car, you should be able to suck and anything else you want to do in that $28 million car forever. You shouldn't have to change your wheel. The oil doesn't need to be changed. Nothing. And if it does, they come to you. I don't care if you're in the middle of the ocean, honey. They need to fly a helicopter and change that oil in the middle of the ocean, because I know you can turn this car into a boat. Why would the car be in the middle of the ocean, Uncle Mario? Because you should be able to turn the car into a boat, Pumpkin Lamb, if you paid $28 million for it. Okay, now didn't I tell you to raise your hand next time you have a question? Okay. All right, so listen. $28 million. Can we go to Wendy's? No, baby, we can't pull a $28 million car up to Wendy's. I'm sorry, but I want Wendy's. I'm sorry, we're in a $28 million car. And you should be able to turn around while the car is going 60 miles per hour. No hands. You ain't got to touch no hands. You don't need a rear view mirror. The windows can be tinted for you, so you can't see out. Okay? For $28 million. It could be a black windshield, honey, for $28 million. I know the car drives itself. So you can turn around and talk to the baby. Baby, we are not going to go to Wendy's in a $28 million car. I'm so sorry. I have an eject seat. What's an eject seat? Right. You better stop crying in a $28 million car. I'm only kidding. There were no children harmed in that joke, okay? Come sit down on it. $28 million, you know your house is even jealous. Your house is like, if your house costs $5 million, you bet not pull up to a $5 million house in a $28 million car. Your house will kick the shit out that car. That's how you start fires in the middle of the desert. These houses be jealous of these cars. You pull a $28 million car up to a $5 million house, that house gonna spontaneously combust. That's how we start forest fires. I wish you would. $28 million could feed the whole country. $28 million could feed a whole country, can clothe the whole country. $28 million car. I mean, you can't give your key to a valet driver and then he leaves it in there with it, unattended, and then he go get a damn Mazda, and then somebody take your key and just and they know how to drive the $28 million. Well, you ain't got to drive the $28 million car because it has a black windshield. Uncle Mario, why does it have a black windshield? You keep asking me without raising your hand. I'm only kidding. With $28 million, wow. It's just, but I'm actually happy. I'm happy for them because if you can afford a $28 million car, you can afford some other shit. That's a lot of singing and dancing. And listen, let me tell you something else real quick. With a $28 million car, your alarm can't be regular. I don't want to $28 million car, I want to hear the whole song in its entirety. Deja vu. When you looking for your car in the mall or something, first of all, it's supposed to be able to hover and just come to you for $28 million. And bitch, when it's the end of the world, the whole family can live in a $28 million car. And it's going to have enough food forever. It's going to have fake sunlight in case some shit happen and we ain't getting no sunlight. It's going to be a full eclipse, honey. The $28 million car going to give you sunlight. It's going to give you night. It's going to give you cricket sounds. It's going to give you waterfalls. It's going to turn into a big giant tent. It just turns into a tent. And then you can float in the middle of the ocean in a $28 million car. Go sit down on it, honey. Now, I know that you ain't just paid $28 million for a regular car with an engine. Like, what is this engine made of? And what does it run off of? I know it don't run off super. It's goat's blood. It has to be goat's blood, honey. You don't run off regular. I wish you would put regular gas in a $28 million car. That's how you start forest fires. That car would just spontaneously go, poof. Oh my God, what happened? They tried to put regular gas in a $28 million car. Dumbasses. They just be sitting there watching the fire. Y'all so crazy.